All right, what's up, everybody? Dre Trades, and today is the day you've been waiting for. Today is the day of mega big tech earnings from the big boys: Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, throwing a little Shopify. Yeah, this is the day we've been waiting for. This is tech. Now, I'm doing this video at 3:10, so we have less than an hour for these companies to start reporting. But unfortunately, I got to do the video now. But we're going to look at a couple of things that I noticed today because the rebound is pretty strong. And look at the VIX. The VIX is basically down 10%. All right, so the Dow's up 269, really ripping into the numbers, right? The S&P down is up, right? 57 points, 1.75%. NASDAQ up 248 when I'm doing this video. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get to it. All right, so I always like starting there. So if you're new to the channel, hey, like, subscribe, and I generally start at that screen so you know where I'm at the time I'm doing this video, because it differs from the time that you watch this video. You might watch it at midnight. You'd be like, oh, he kind of knew what was going on. Anyway, look at the big boys, all bright green. Everything is green except for healthcare and medical, right? Apple, up 5%. I mean, they are running into the numbers. Amazon is not, well, it is. That's a big, 2.4, but not as much as Google and Facebook and Apple. Okay, so I'm just trying to keep it in perspective. Now, there's some things I want to look at. All right, and the first thing I'm going to look at is Shopify. And we're just going to try to focus in on yesterday and today. All right, now Shopify reported some fantastic numbers. Revenues, they doubled them from last year. I mean, this company is making money hand over fist. But you know what? Like I said in yesterday's video, it wasn't good enough. Okay, they didn't blow the doors off or whatever you need to blow off. It just didn't happen, because if you pull up the monthly, you see stocks. Hey, it's one of those stick stocks. It's a stick stock, a hockey stick stock. All right, so we're looking at the daily because we're gonna just focus on the last 2 days. And yesterday, huge sell-off, right? And you can see where we closed, right? Open, closed, and then we got the gap down and kind of went down, a little bounce at the end there or whatever. And then look at today's action, right? Today's action, we're down 3.52%. So just keep this in mind as we bring up some of the other charts, because this is kind of bearish. Nothing huge though, because it's still in the range. And remember, okay, I said this with Peloton, and I'm going to say it again. The stock market always comes back to these growth companies, all right? So it's just a little sell-off. It's nothing serious. Let me tell you, the money will be back in Shopify. Just kind of keep an eye on it. All right, so now let's pull up Facebook, all right? Now, Facebook, by the way, Shopify, yeah, they reported already. They reported this morning. All right, so let's pull up Facebook. And then let's look at the same thing. So here we was the day before, yesterday, right? We closed. And then we opened and we gapped down and went down to the end. And you could see how yesterday's, remember I said, hey, you probably want to be buying here. I did. Oh, yeah. I bought calls right at the end of the day. Anyway, so I said, yeah, because it's in the channel, right? Every time it got here, boom, it was up about 8%, 9%. Remember, I measured them 10%, 9%, somewhere in that range. So today, we're just bouncing off the bottom of the range. Nothing really to get excited about. But look at the action, how we just totally took away yesterday's action, right? And that's what I want to focus on, right? We opened up here, we closed down here, and we're already above the open. We filled the gap. Well, we're filling the gap. And we're almost there, right? So let's see what happens. I like that. I like how we just basically took away yesterday's action. Volume is almost the same as the upside. Now, remember, we got another hour to trade this thing, 45 minutes to trade. So I'm liking Facebook going into the numbers still. This is kind of what I predicted. Now, the Shopify, I predicted it actually goes up. Okay, I was liking how it was holding the tops, and according to UPS, I'm like, these guys are they're gonna have a killer number, but it just wasn't good enough, and it went down. And that's what I've been worried about because that's the kind of market conditions that we're in, right? You better not dress to impress. You better, whatever is better than that. and it's going to be tough to beat numbers. Pinterest did it. Oh yeah, Pinterest, man. And that's why Facebook is running like this, and so is Google, these social media companies. So we'll see what happens after the bell. I'm hoping it can break out of this channel to the upside, right? And then we'll start looking at the highs and maybe even higher, right, with Facebook. All right, so Google, kind of the same kind of action, right? Hit the bottom of the channel, and right, we had this channel, kind of a funky little channel, and it was more of a buy point down here, right? So we kind of took away most of yesterday's action. It was a huge gap down. We actually reached it. Right there, right? So I'm liking Google as well. It's up 4%, up $60. Let's see what happens. They don't have the volume like Facebook has, but let's see what happens. Nothing to worry about until it kind of blows out of this range. Google tends to disappoint. From as long as I've been following Google, they disappoint more than they appoint. Does that make sense? They disappoint more than they surprise. All right, they disappoint more than they surprise. It seems like, and they still grow at 25% a year, for the most part, but. It's a slow burn. It's not like one of the big boys, and it's something that you should have in every portfolio should have. But if you're trading it, especially going into earnings, just be aware, it kind of disappoints. But when it does surprise, when it pops on earnings, it's generally huge. Okay. And I only remember maybe two, and it doesn't pop often. So, anyway, they report tonight. I definitely like the action from yesterday, kind of just taking that all back for the most part. All right, so let's pull up Apple. Let's see what Apple's doing. Apple is the same way. Wow, Apple, yeah, it's basically the same chart. So we saw how, Shopify, didn't kind of do it for us. But, we looking at these stocks and we can kind of see what's happening, right? But remember, Shopify already reported. So maybe if they reported after the bell today, it would be a different story. So you could see how it took away all the way. Yesterday's action is gone. Volume, I wish it was a little higher, but it's still in the channel, right, at the support. And, we just have to wait and see. Stochastic is ready to blow. This thing is ready to actually go higher. It's hard for me to judge Apple because I'm an Apple hater. I admit it. I hate it, and I always say, yeah, this thing is going down. But for the most part, it's in the range. It's at the bottom of the range. I don't think we get any significant movement until we break out of this area. But today's action was good. Okay, I said yesterday I think it goes down. Today's action is good. We'll see what happens. Amazon. Let's see what we got going over here. Now, Amazon's only up 2%, and you could see the difference, right? We did not take away yesterday's action. All right, so we're still in that range. Can I clear all of this out? Zoom in a little closer. We are still in the range of yesterday's bar, right? Didn't even try to attempt to get into the gap area up here. So I'm not feeling Amazon, and just looking at this chart right here, I think it comes down. But I said yesterday it's going to come down because this is one of the stocks that, it's got the hockey stick. It might do a Shopify. I think, let me tell you something. They're going to report fantastic earnings. Great earnings. You have to worry about the spending with them, and we'll see what happens. And you know what? If for some reason they spend too much or earnings, it's like, you didn't report fantastic earnings and everybody was ordering online? Oh, look out. Or if AWS takes a big hit for whatever reason, so there's reasons that it can come down, but it needs to be perfect, better than perfect. And today's action is not looking as good as the other as the other action that we was looking at, right? And you can see it. You can see the difference, right? So maybe this chart is telling us something. All right, so you know who else reports today? And that's Carvana. They down going into the number. They down on a day like this. They are down 5.3%. Now I say somebody knows something. Oh, am I missing something that I don't know? Why are they down 5% going into the number? Anyway, so here we closed the day before yesterday, right here, right? And then you can see the gap down. And today's action opens higher and then just goes straight down. Let's pull up the minute chart on this. I don't know. Here we are. It opens higher, comes down, comes up to that high again, right? And then sells off. See, if you use a day trader, right there, you get in, you see it come, boom, short it, and look, you'd have made all kinds of money. But I don't do that. But this was a stock to kind of look at that, and you might have caught that. So let me see if I pull up the 5-minute and see what it kind of looks like. Yeah, you might have caught, especially if it broke this bar. That's probably where I would have got in. Like, wow, you broke that bar right there? Yeah, let me short this thing. That would have been my trade. But anyway, there we are. It's very weak. So you can see the difference. You definitely see the difference with this one. It's totally not participating. So let's see what it looks like going into earnings. I mean, I don't know. But I can tell you this. There's the trend line. It's broken. Right? The trend line's been broke for some time now. And it is in a range. But it's at the bottom of the range. Right? So let's see what happens. Let's wait and see. This one, for sure, looks like it wants to blow through the downside. And, personally, I think Carvana is going to have good numbers, but it just might be overextended. Look at the monthly. Look at that hockey stick right there, right? So it's just overextended. So keep an eye on Shopify, by the way, because I do like it. They reported fantastic earnings, and just kind of watch it. Let it come in a little bit, but they always go back to the stocks that have growth. All right, and that's it. I think I hit everything. Oh, did I hit Twitter? I don't know if I hit the Twitter. Oh, man, Twitter's up 8%. No, I didn't hit Twitter. Let's pull up the daily. Now, you see what happened? It's an all-time high. Not an all-time high. It is a multi-year high today. I could call it that because I remember when it was up there, when it had the highs, it was around its IPO days. Anyway, but wow. And it didn't even report. So you could see the difference. You could see look at the volume. Does somebody know something? Do they know something about Twitter? I mean, they was grilling Jack Dorsey yesterday pretty hard. That Senator Ted Cruz. Anyway, but look at that, man. Unbelievable, right? I don't have to say anymore. But I got into Twitter yesterday. I bought a couple calls. So I do trade my what I talk about. Anyway, so here we go. There was the breakout. There's really nothing to say. You just look at it. It's a beautiful cup and handle bowl. I was really long right here. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. Oh, man, I was so long, and look what happened. And it took me a while to get back in this because this happened. And I'm like, what? So this was very disappointing. That's a 54% downturn from that breakout to the low, right? Lost half. And I was hesitant to get back in. But now that I see the breakout, it's clear, it's defined. And every time the market was coming down, this thing would turn around fast. Right? Look at that, man. It's just beautiful. So it's not too late to get in Twitter. Damn, it up 8% today, though. You might be able to catch it on a pullback. I hope it doesn't do like a pins on us. So Pinterest reported great earnings to start. Oh, wow. It was up 32%. So it's coming in. It's only up 24% now. Look at the 5-minute chart, right? Huge gap up, and it was going up. So look, it's kind of trying to fill the gap. So you might be able to get a better price on this one. But this stock is what got the social media stocks on fire. Look at the volume today compared to the past. Just look at today's action. Oh man. So I do think that you can get into this stock at the right price. You have to let it come in. It's up 24%. I got in GoPro kind of high. Yeah, I say let it 61.8 retrace, maybe at least back into the, back into the move, and that could possibly be a good entry. But just keep an eye on this one. I think this one's just getting started. They claim that they, from the Facebook boycott, that they benefited from that. So beautiful chart here. I can't believe I missed this one. Probably because I'm not on pins, right? You got the bowl, and look at the flattening out right there. Oh, I would have called this one easy. And then you see the breakout right there. I would have been in right there. Draw that circle. If we can get there again, that's where I would have took my trade. Anyway, but probably maybe even in this candle too, because I sometimes I'm premature. Anyway, so that's what's up, man. Hey, if you're in any of these stocks, good luck. I'm in the Google. Please don't let me down. And I know it generally lets me down. It's just one of those stocks. And I'm in the Facebook. All right. So those are the two that I'm in. Oh, I'm in the Twitter. So the price action today is telling you what the earnings is going to do, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything, right? So Carvana could be the one that pops and these three go down, right? So it doesn't really mean, I don't put too much weight behind it, but sometimes where I put the most weight going into earnings is the price action weeks before. And that kind of gives me a clue of what happened, not necessarily the day before. That's kind of, you want to see the run up into it. Weeks, not like a week or two like Facebook, they always run in earnings. I'm talking about like this. This is perfect how you just see it kind of just going up, earnings, pop, just holding it, coming up, earnings, pop, so that's what you want to see. Right. And that can kind of give you an indicator of what's going on. Carvana, man, I think somebody knows something. I mean, to be down in the market like this, 5% going into the number, unless it came out and I just don't know. Says it comes out after the market. Conference call 4:30. I'm telling you, that was a leak. Anyway, there is the heat map again. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you're in it. I wish I could do the video live. I'm sure there's going to be some bigger YouTubers that's live talking about the earnings and the action after the market. I'm just going to sit here and just watch CNBC and see what's going on. So, hey, subscribe. I've been getting some subscribers. I'm getting subscribe action. I appreciate you. Like, share, do all of that stuff, and get in the comments. I'm not getting the comments that I want you guys in the comments. Only people in the comments is the Jewelry Box and Lawrence. All right, I appreciate you. And if you're in the comments and I didn't mention your name there, you got to get more into the comments. We need to have a conversation in the comments. Thanks for watching, everybody. You can, of course, hit me up on Dre Trades on Twitter and Dre Trades on Instagram as well, man. We can chat there too. And of course, in the comments. I am out. Good luck to you on the trade. Peace.